Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome to Today's America, Millennium News 24/7. No, this is Noor Tafadar from Millennium Studio, United States of America. Viewers, today we have a special guest, Westchester County, New York, White Plain, Mr. George Ortega. George, welcome to Today's America and Millennium News 24/7. Please introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you, Noor, and thank you for having me. As you know, we've done, I suppose, almost a dozen episodes on this, and basically what I try to do is help the world become better in various ways. I've done a lot of work on human happiness, climate change, on retooling our capitalist system so that it no longer serves mainly the rich and hopefully everyone else. So that's what I've dedicated my life to.
Thank you very much. Viewers, globally disaster, fighting, war, political problem, so many. We do not know. We never see the Third World War, Second World War. But right now is Third World War running or something else? What is our politician doing globally? They're going to stop or they're going to fight each other. We're going to talk about these things today. Eastern Europe, Ukraine, Russia, Palestine, and Yemen, Libya, Syria, those countries. Iraq and Afghanistan, now they don't have any fight. They're fighting their own self. They can solve the problem their own. They do not fight for internationally. George, Russian president, he is not going to back up. This morning, I see the news called NDTV, Indian News Media. Russian billionaire, few billionaire supporting him. And they told him, do not back up. Go ahead in front. Let's see what is going on. So, you always talking rich people supporting these things. It's true. Could you explain us?
Yeah, the rich in Russia who are aligned with Putin want this war extended as far as possible to distract us from prosecuting Trump. It's no more complicated than that. Where you started with this prospect of a third world war, and a lot of things have happened recently. You know that in 2018, Xi Jinping just basically abolished term limits on his office, meaning that he's a de facto dictator now.
Lifelong.
And yeah, like Putin, and exactly so. So we're going to have a third world war, but it's not going to be like the last two. The last two was about people fighting each other, common people fighting other common people. This third world war is going to be about all of the people fighting the rich.
Right now, Russian people, they don't support. Still they are protesting. Thousands of Russian innocent people in the jail. They cut off all social network. They cut off all international news media. They have only RT. And today's Russia, these two network in Russian land, but young generation, they knows what's going on. They are protesting and they are heading to the jail. Democracy is gone. But millions of Ukrainian, their life is limbo. So what is our European friends and North American friends like Canada and America, they doing? They helping, or they are just talking point?
As with Putin and his billionaire funders, Biden and the Democrats and the Republicans here in the United States are taking their marching orders from the rich. So obviously, the Russian oligarchs want this war extended. The rich people here want it extended to protect Trump, because they know when Trump goes down, they all go down. Regarding the young people in Ukraine and in Russia that Putin has muzzled, he's taken off the. There's a lot of them, I'm sure, understand cyber warfare. Perhaps it's time for them to launch cyber warfare against Russia, against their government. Now, that's not something I know anything about, but I know there are a lot of people in the world that do, and perhaps that's their only alternative. But let's take this to a much deeper level. Why do we deserve this? Why do we deserve this pandemic? Trump, Putin, Jinping, whatever. Look at how we treat these animals on farms. I mean, we're essentially torturing them. If you were to ask me, would I rather be in a concentration camp or one of these factory farms, I would easily choose a concentration camp. That's how horrible these are. So if we want to get to the bottom of these, because God controls this world. We all know God controls this world. If we, as common people, are behaving so horribly, I'm not sure we can expect better leaders or a better world.
You bring religious peoples. This is rumor, or Russian president, his cabinet and parliamentarian talking about Ukraine, all is Nancy, Jewish. We have to kill it. And they invited millions of people, Muslim, Christian, from globally, like West Africa to all the way North Africa. Also, some Asian countries like Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and also part of Russia. Couple of years ago, he bombing the state, Chechnya. Thousands of Chechenians joined the Russian army. And some European and American young generation, they try to help Ukrainian. This is like, if you know the AP and Reuters, they told us. So, what is your viewpoint? This is the religious fight, or this is the power to power or money to money?
Yeah, Noor, I mean, for decades, the rich have been fomenting dispute, conflict between various religions, between various religious sects, because they know that whenever religions fight religions, the common people fight common people, then they're too involved in that to attack the rich. So that explains that. Now, all right. So we understand that that's the rich are the problem behind, those kinds of wars, those kinds of conflicts. But the rich are responsible for everything. Climate change, this pandemic, they control the world. So, until we figure out, until enough people know this, we can also appeal to God. You're a very religious man. I'm a very religious man. God hears our prayers. We have to pray. I want to go from politics to religion to deep religion right now. I was raised Christian. I was born Jewish. I practiced Judaism. I've studied a lot of Buddhism. But I understand Hinduism is like the first religion. I have a great deal of respect for Hinduism. And you may know more about this, Noor, but basically, I believe this world has become so corrupt that I think it would be a good thing for God to destroy it and replace it with a world that's much, much better. Now, naturally, this isn't something that we think about and all, but consider the state of the world, consider that God controls everything, and consider that we have this power to pray and influence God to do what's right for the world.
Jewish religious and Muslim religious almost, and Christianity, we are almost similar. And we are practicing like a same prophet. You practicing Musa, Prophet Musa. And Christianity, they are practicing Isa. And we practicing Muhammad. So we are all same part, I respect, and Musa alayhi salam, our prophet, he's our prophet too. And Isa, our prophet too. Then another one, Daud alayhi salam, also prophet, he is our prophet too. So I am not talking about, this crazy things on the air. People's mind is totally lousy and headache's right now. I don't know why they destroy the country. Now they bring the religious. This is not a religious fight. This is the fight. They try to take over the country. They try to take over whole Europe. They try to take build the USSR like a Soviet Union. Now, Russian cabinet, Russian parliamentarian, and Russian president, he wake up and he call this is religious fight. What do you think?
Yeah, no, of course it's not a religious fight. It's a fight where the rich pit one religious group against the other to have them fighting each other. That's how they work. It's like divide and conquer. It's a strategy that military generals have understood for centuries. And that's what the rich have been doing. So, but where are we now, Noor? We know that the rich are the problem, but we're powerless to stop them. Because if we could stop them, we would. And they've destroyed the world. They've destroyed the future. They've destroyed the soul of most people. That most people can eat so much meat and dairy and fish and eggs, just not even caring about those animals, just shows you how far we've fallen. So again, I think we need to appeal, bring the religious people together, not against each other, but against, to pray to God, to get closer to God. That God. Noor, I want to ask you a question. Like,
Go ahead.
I know Christianity. I don't know that much about Islam. In Islam, is there a tradition where like God created various worlds in the past, and He's created this one, and God will create other worlds in the future? Is that idea a part of Islam?
Exactly. It's called Qiyamah, end of the world. It's going to be when and what time, only God knows, Allah knows, or Creator knows. But He gonna kill everyone in this earth. So then after that He gonna build another time and another way when He knows, God knows. We do not know these things. Quran, Bible, and your book, your holy book is Taurat. We call Taurat, and Christianity is Injil. So I researched some holy book, but all is destiny, one place. We all looking for heaven. We all looking for God. But we don't know what is the issue right now in the world, fighting each other, killing human being. As a Christian, as a Jewish, or as a Muslim, I never see anywhere holy book the human being can kill each other. No. So our Vatican City Pope, he urged the Russian president, please stop this kind of war, stop the fighting, save the children, save the people. But he do not hear, So this guy is out of mind. He is mental sick. He is not a right person, right mood, and right face. You can see. George?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that applies to all of our leaders pretty much. Putin, Trump, Biden. I mean, they're all out of their minds. They have no idea how dangerous a world they've created. Again, the answer is to get the money out of politics. Do we have the will to do that? And if we don't, you're referring to the accounts in Islam where the God, and it has its quotes in Christianity and Judaism, they don't talk that much about it. But yes, I mean, the idea that the world will end, I think, think about it, unless we have an answer to the money problem, then we don't have any answers. And if that's the case, our appealing to God is what else can we do? And I can think because it's not just the Ukraine is not the only problem. It's sub-Saharan Africa, South America, parts of China. There's so much that's wrong. And so so perhaps, this isn't your standard political solution. This isn't like what people talk about, when they talk about world problems. But I think considering that climate change is going to be a threat for us for decades, and rather than our world spiraling down slowly and more painfully into chaos and decivilization, perhaps, yes, as good Jews, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, we should, well, not the Buddhists, they don't pray to God, whatever, but those of us who believe in God, perhaps it's time to pray to God to just end this world and create one that's totally happy and good. We don't want just this world to end. We want to live in a world that's completely happy and good. Unless we can figure out a way to get money out of politics, what other option do we have?
God make us in this earth. One is good, one is bad. Right hand and left hand. So this is the way world going to be run. We call heaven, another one called Jahannam. The people going to be who doing bad thing, they're going to go Jahannam. Who doing good things, they're going to be going Jannat, heaven. So, of course, God make this is the way God make it. So this is the His games. Now we are doing bad games in this earth. Anyway, George, stay with us. Viewers, we are going to short break. Please stay with us.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content
Manavai.
from Europe, Asia, Africa, and
Oh,
now
Manavai.
right here in the USA. Watch us via
Oh, this is
Roku
near
on
one.
your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530 Entertainment LLC at gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Viewers, we are back again. Today's America. In the world, so many people we making bad judgment. If someone not a politician and they do not know how to run their family, how to run their city or community, how people going to vote for them to president. This is the big mistake we have, and we are learning these things. 2016, American people get bad judgment. They vote for non-politician. Non-politician try to destroy the country. Right now, same thing happened Ukraine. Ukrainian people do not vote for politician. We vote for non-politician, comedian. Comedian, he never be run for any office. Also, he cannot run for probably his college's any association or any club member, So he ran for presidency and he ran for the country. Now, what's happening in the country? Now people going to be understood, people going to be learned. George, few countries in the world, people get bad judgment and we are voting for wrong time, wrong people. That's why our country and disaster. And now country is burn and fire. You going to say something regarding this?
Noor, you bring up an extremely important point that nobody has begun to talk about yet. And Noor, this is a great part of the answer. In other words, in any country of the world, you don't become a doctor simply because you want to become a doctor. You have to go to school, you have to pass tests, you have to show yourself worthy of that level of responsibility. So yes, it's time for us, we in the United States and in every country of the world, you want to become a politician, demonstrate to the public, demonstrate that you understand the politics, then demonstrate that you understand morality, that you understand democracy. Then you have the privilege of leading us. That is something. If we were to begin to do that, that may be part of the problem of solving the problem of getting money out of politics.
George, I remember 2017 or 16, our intelligence branch briefing the president every day morning, 10 to 11 or 9 to 11, 2 hours. What is happening in America and what is happening around the world. And our ex-president, what he did, he told the intelligence branch, do not come over here. I know better than you guys. He embarrassed our national security. Then he embarrassed the world, Helsinki. He embarrassed the world, NATO's, not NATO's, G7 summit, also NATO's. So anyway, right now, Ukrainian people get punishment. If someone is politician, they can talk with Russian president. They can talk with world leader. We have to solve this problem. We don't want to kill ourselves. We don't want to kill our peoples. We don't want to destroy our country. Now his country is burning. It's like a fire. Everywhere is fire and destroy. So many people is died. Probably thousands and thousands. God knows. Russia bombing every place. All communities. School, college, university, and courthouse, whatever is it. And, residential area, everywhere. They don't care anything. They are not part of human life. So, our world community now have to be wake up. And they can support Ukrainian people, the homeless, refugee. They can support them. They can help them. They can give the shelter. But so many countries, they refuse to do that. Do you know, George, these things?
Well, I know the cruelty of the world. I mean, the world has been cruel to its entire continent. So it doesn't surprise me that people, turn away from Ukrainians also. But let's again get to the root of this. Yes, we're electing corrupt, stupid, immoral leaders. Yes, we need to change the way we do things, but we need to perhaps, also look at ourselves rather than our leaders. In other words, we believe that God rewards us when we're good and punishes us when we're not. And that seems to be what's happening. Again, usually politics doesn't go into the realm of religion, but if we're going to understand how we became so corrupt, I think religion provides some good lessons for this. It's interesting. In Judaism, there really wasn't a very popular conception of an afterlife. Then Christianity, then they developed this belief of a heaven and hell. Islam has it also. Hinduism, I think, has it. The Egyptian religions had it. I think, getting back to what's the answer to all this, perhaps we need to pray to God to destroy this world and replace it with one that's good and happy. Now, you mentioned that there's some evil. I don't believe in hell. And the reason I don't believe in hell is there are three people who, in the history of science, are in a class of their own: Einstein, Newton, and Darwin. And they all understood that we don't have a free will. Basically, we think things are up to us. We think this evil we're doing or this good we're doing is up to us. Well, no, it's all up to God. So it doesn't seem fair or right in my mind that God would make us do wrong things and then punish us. But that is what seems to happen. But that's the other part of that is that's what allows me to ask God, this world is too corrupt to save. I want you to destroy this world, replace it with one where nobody is denied entry. Every evil person who's ever done everything, but in this new world, they could never do evil. So I just wanted to inject that, because this belief in a heaven and hell, and there's some people that are so evil that they deserve to suffer eternally. I can't think of a more horrible belief. That is another belief that the church, that synagogues, the mosque, these religious institutions institute that to create this great hatred within us. So if we want our politicians to not be filled with hate and selfishness and cruelty and greed, we need to really reform ourselves. And again, we need to ask God to fight this fight for us that we're not able to fight ourselves.
Viewers, our leaders in the world, free world, when they doing wrong thing, that time they bring the religious. This is bad habit and bad things. Innocent people is dying. Innocent people getting refugee. Destroy their houses, destroy their town, city, community for religious ethnicity. This is totally bad. Russian president, Russian foreign minister, defense minister, they are all cabinet and parliamentarian talking about all Nazi Jews living in Ukraine. They coming from whole Europe and this is their headquarters. That's why we are destroying these things. And they call, wake up the world, bring all Christianity and Muslim people, join the Russian army, fight with Nazi. This is Ukrainian is loving, peaceful people. They never fight with any country in the world. And they never fight with Russia. But this is the time, February 2022, Russia started these games. God knows where is this games gonna go. But we hope God gifted human being is suffer. Our politician, our country, they can take it as long people lives,
Yeah, this problem, it didn't just arise. For example, when people think we have a democracy in the United States, the only time we've ever had a democracy or anything approaching that was after the Great Depression, the first few years of the New Deal. After that, the rich recontrolled our government. And so, I bring that to it's not just our governments that are corrupt, it is our religions that have become corrupt. The religions as they were created are wonderful. They're probably our greatest gift. But the people who took power in our religions, and all of them, I'm not sure I can think of one that is exempt from this, they have become corrupt. And when they become corrupt, they don't instill the kinds of values in their adherents they should. So yes, it's completely unfortunate. The Ukrainians, the people who are now attacked throughout the world. But let's talk about their part in this also. Here in the United States, in Europe, across the world, the Ukrainians included, how they treat those animals is horrible. They don't care. They don't care. We don't care. And so God perhaps is saying to the Ukrainians, well, now let's see if you begin caring. Now let's see if you become better people so that God will protect the Ukrainians and other people from evil people. So we, part of this is we need to reform our religions so our religious leaders are telling us what we need to know rather than what their rich donors, contributors who basically support their institutions, their buildings, order them to do. That's a major part of the problem.
Viewers, today we are talking about world politics and religious. Like India, one of the largest democracy country in the world, but they have a problem issue religious. Hindu fundamentalist fighting, killing innocent minority, Muslim. So bad things. So many Muslim houses, Muslim shopping center, clinic is burned, and they're making every single day noise, fight with Muslim. So world have to be safe place, and we are human. We have to respect each other. You know, George, Syria is destroyed by religious fight. Same thing now is Ethiopia, Sudan, Libya, and also Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen, those whole block. And since 1949 to as of today, Israel and Palestine is no peace. Israel and Palestine, no peace, nothing. Innocent Palestinian die, killing like bird, killing like animal. So this is the things happening democratic country, so-called democratic. Right now, I never heard any media or State Department they're going to bring millions of refugees from Ukraine. What's going on, George?
Yeah, well, the media does more than not inform us about the refugees. With the groups that you mentioned earlier, the different religious groups that are fighting each other, whether it's in India or wherever it is, think of what the news media could do, because they are arguing essentially about beliefs, which is insane. It's bizarre. But the rich like it that way, because the rich could create news programs where they get, one of the members of one sect that hates another, to talk in a civil, polite, respectful way and understand their differences. The rich could do that through the media, through the news media. Why don't they? Because it's to their benefit that these religious groups fight each other, because if they didn't, they would wake up to the fact that the rich are the enemy, and then we would change and improve this world in so many ways.
If you remember, 2021, BBC and CNN, BBC and British intelligence branch and British government declare Iraq is coming 2 days, they're going to make atomic bomb. You remember that? And BBC, broadcasting globally. One of the worst part in British always doing wrong thing, saying wrong thing, our American intelligence branch, and we are jumping for fight. Now, British is not lose anything. America lose $28 trillion fight for Middle East. What is our interest? American taxpayer, American coming generation and next coming generation is going to be their burden. $28 trillion. British not going to pay us any penny. Why we have to hear what is the British saying? George?
Yeah, I mean, Noor, you don't have to convince me about how corrupt this country has become, how horrible, how greedy and selfish and callous. The prospect of a nuclear war, I hope that doesn't happen. Because a nuclear war would create so much devastation everywhere. My belief is that it won't happen because it's so mutually destructive. An alternative, though, that may come from God, if we want to go back to this idea that God is our only answer and a new world is what's necessary. I imagine, for example, a comet or an asteroid the size of Texas, just basically exploding into our Earth just in an instant, eliminating life, completely painless, and then God creates a different world. But I would accept that scenario. I cannot accept the scenario of nuclear war here.
If you remember, since 2016 or 15 to as of today. Myanmar killing Muslim, Christian, and Myanmar is the Buddhist country, and they are fighting with Muslim. Thousands of Muslim killed. Right now, over few millions Muslim get shelter in Bangladesh. You know, our Western world and America, everyone is sleeping. They never help and they never check what is going on these people. Few millions Bangladesh give the shelter. Right now, few hundred people coming from Mexico by the southern border. Our Senate and Congress and White House, they like blow up. They don't like to bring any people from anywhere in the world as a refugee. Right now, Ukrainians need a help. British, they only, I heard in some, our Fox network, also AP, Reuters, they allow 700 people coming to the Britain. Okay? And people, they don't have a passport, they don't have an ID, they don't have anything. So how they going to come in one country to another country? George? If they don't have anything, they destroy everything. So how they going to give the passport or national ID or any document to diplomats mission?
No, I understand. And then you ask yourself, how did we get in this position where we're so callous to the needs of people who are in great need? And the answer to that is simple. Basically, this, here in the United States, we have this so many people think America first, America first. That was one of Trump's corrupting slogans. Every country of the world, the leaders of the countries have us see ourselves as Americans or Indians or English or British or French or Russian or Chinese, whatever. And they know that divides us. If you ask me what I am first, I am a human being along with every other human being on the planet before I'm an American. So that tells me that, yes, if people are starving in sub-Saharan Africa, that is our priority, to help these, but to explain the callousness that you described, yes, it's because these political leaders want us to think of ourselves as Russians and Chinese and Americans, and they don't want us to think of ourselves as united people, because if we thought of ourselves as human beings united as one, we would never go to war against each other.
George, we are talking, as a refugee, Britain, they are pushing to fight and they never support. They are fighting right now, their parliament, to bring couple of thousand people, but they allow only 700. America, still they do not say how many they're going to bring. But Germany, they say they're going to, anything, any millions come in Germany, they're going to take it. And Netherlands, they're going to take 2 million. A small country in Netherlands, they're going to take 2 million. France and Britain, they do not say any word regarding refugee. And America, this is the big 3 country in this earth, and financial sector, everything they control. But if still they do not open their mouth and their eyes. So this is not another politics?
Yeah, I mean, this is who we are. This is the level of corruption that we've descended to, and I don't have an answer to it. What I'm focused on is the cause of the Ukraine, the cause of Putin invading Ukraine, which was Trump. And so, if you want to go back to real hardball, this is where it's at, politics. We need to imprison Trump. And once we imprison Trump, we need to hold the entire Republican Party accountable for continuing to support him for this treasonous action. If we don't understand morality, democracy, justice enough to do that, then no, we cannot come to the defense of the Ukrainians or anyone else because we're way too corrupt. We need to take this one battle at a time, and the biggest battle that'll allow us to win all of the others is prosecuting and convicting Trump to life in prison. Not just Trump, his whole family, all the people who conspired with him to try to take over our country.
Viewers, what happened in Ukraine, same thing happened Iraq, same thing happened Syria, same thing happened Libya, same thing happened Yemen. Who make these things? Western world. Few months ago, as a 2 months ago, Iraqi and Syrian, few hundred refugees come over to the Poland border. That time NATO blocking everything. No one cannot come in NATO's country. You know, who is the creator? God. Those people die over there, by health issue or hungry. So many people die in Polish and Belarus border. But NATO is not allow anyone. Thanks God. God is watching. God is one. He's give safe and livelihood everyone in this earth. What's going on right now? These European countries and NATO's. You guys, everyone, European, American, Canadian, is racist. Racism is everywhere. Color problem is everywhere. Now you guys give the sheltering Ukrainian brother and sisters. What wrong is Syrian? Millions of Syrian now is Turkey, Turkish border, Turkey supporting everything. Millions of Libyan, Mali. Millions of Yemeni now is Sudan. What and Egypt. Why they have to be refugee? Our Western world, they making the arms, they making the missile, they making the bomb, and they have to use it. Innocent people, innocent country, This is the call Western business. What do you think, George?
Well, you're exactly right. It's Western civilization with capitalism that made so many Westerners rich that created this problem. There's this idea that money corrupts, power corrupts. That's what has happened to the West. So yes, it's a major problem. And, China, has a chance. China, 1.5 billion people. They have a chance. They have to reform themselves also, though. They have to our example of democracy, perhaps it is wiser for this, Jinping to be a dictator until, he can create a viable democracy. But yes, the answer, as you're suggesting, lies in the East, because the West has become too corrupt because we became too rich, because those riches corrupted us. What is the answer? We may want to go back to this answer of God. We may have to understand that as long as our religious institutions are corrupt, then the morals, the values of the common person are going to be corrupt. And as long as that's the case, we're going to continue to elect the wrong leaders that will turn us against each other. You talked about the race issue. Yes, that the rich will do whatever divisive act they can to have people oppose each other. They will get black people here in the United States angry with white people, so white people are fighting with black people, so the rich can continue to go unscathed. That needs to change. The rich have practiced the policy of division for decades. And it's now time that we use that against them. It's now time that the West and the East, the black and white, the races, the different religions, all unite against the rich so they no longer have the power or ability to corrupt us anymore.
You know, George, you are 100% right. Our time almost finished. If you want to say something, our viewers, last word regarding Ukraine and our Middle Eastern friends.
Yeah, at this point, pray to God. You know, we need to understand that God has the power to make these things right. And however, I mean, my answer is like, let's create a new world. Other people may have other answers, but whatever it is, you know, our politics aren't working. We need to turn to God.
Thank you, George. Viewers, today our time is end over here. We talk about humanity. We talking about planet. We talking about human life. We talking about refugee. Globally, our politician and rich people, they make these things. Also, they make religious issue, race issue, so many things. Their own interest, own business have to be understood, everyone. We are not enemy, we are not against any human being in this earth or any politician or any dictator. Okay, we are part of this planet and we are part of human being. So please respect each other, love each other, help each other. Viewers, we are in on iOS and Android device. Also, we are all smart TVs like Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku, Amazon. Also, we are on Amazon Stick, Roku Stick, also Apple TV and Jadu TV, Radiant IPTV and Jago BD worldwide. Our social network address Millennium News 24/7. Our YouTube address News Channel M24. Our website millenniumnews24.com, millenniumtv24.com. Viewers, our colleague, friends, technician, IT, they working reporters, they working round the clock for you. News, views, talk show, documentary, editorial, breaking news, everything. Watch Millennium News 24/7 and we respect and honor our colleague and friends. Viewers, whatever you are, stay safe and peace, love and happiness. Goodbye, take care for today.